Hi, today I'm going to be doing a review on the WE PDW and the WE SCAR L. Hopefully I will demonstrate that these guns are not fit for purpose and any potential buyers out there might reconsider their choice. I've been using airsoft guns now for about the last 5 years. We use them as a club to teach realistic firearms techniques and also self-defense. This is my current collection. Bear with me. Over the years I've had many types of airsoft weapons, and these are just a few of the weapons that we now own. These guns, these airsoft weapons, some of these are over 5 years old. They all work. They have been stomped on, dropped on, kicked. The amount of abuse that these weapons have received is unbelievable. But yet with a little bit of loving tender care and a little bit of basic maintenance, they are all still working today. The mates we have here, we have KWA, Tokyo Maori, KWC, HFC, whole host of mates. Every one of these guns, irregardless of price, have lasted well. Let's now look at the WE. Before I talk about the PDW, I'd like to talk to you about the WE high capper. We bought a couple of these just as replacement guns less than 8 months ago. Out of the box, these are amazing guns. You look at them, you feel them, you pick them up. These are amazing guns. Out of all the guns there we have, these are by far the worst accuracy. The thing that really lets this gun down is the fact that the front sight is a welded composite of the front slide. In other words, you cannot adjust it. At a distance of about 25 feet, distance of about 25 feet, the accuracy on this firearm was so poor you would miss a man. It was firing about 10 inches to the right hand side. And it's not just this one. We own 2 of them. In fact, we did have 3. Both of these guns are the worst regarding accuracy. In the end, what I've had to actually do is that I've cut out the front sight and replaced it with a Tokyo Maori one, which we can now adjust. Such a simple job, a simple requirement of the manufacturer has totally ruined what was a very good pistol. Talking about simple things like that, let's look at briefly the WE magazines. I own 4 of these, 3 M4s and a PDW one. If you drop these on the floor, they will malform. The steel used on the outer casing is so soft, it disforms. This is a red, white, green magazine. It's a mid-cap. It's about 5 years old. I have about a dozen of these, which we use with the electric guns. These are unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We have skirmished these, we have tested these, we have thrown these to each other. I've stomped on them, I've dropped them. They all work. Not one damage. Not one little bit damaged. These WE ones, I've dropped this one and it's dinted. It's pushed the entire corner in and now I can't even get the base plate out. It's the same with these ones as well. You drop them once, they will malform, they will dent. Cheap, cheap, cheap. The PDW magazine, I'm not sure if you can see this, but on the top there, the actual metal component that, again, I'm not sure what these magazines are made out of, but it's some sort of cast aluminium, but it's so fragile that one's actually broke. Now you might think these weapons are old. This one, this PDW in this magazine, is less than 4 months old. I can guarantee that no more than 1,000 BBs has gone through this. And yet we have a magazine failure. Looking at the actual weapon itself, you know, typical WE, you pull it out of the box, it looks fantastic. The feel of it is fantastic. This one is now 4 months old. Today's the 9th of February, I think, and this one was purchased on the 14th of November. Again, I'm presuming this is some sort of cast aluminium upper receiver and lower receiver. Within 4 months, this weapon is showing severe signs of wear. Any area where steel components such as the slide lock is coming into touch with the aluminium section is wearing out quickly. After another few weeks of use, this catch will no longer function. I can guarantee it, because it is wearing away. You can also see there the wear on the top and the wear on the bottom. Just something as simple as the safety switch that is starting to wear away. The finish may look well and good and proper out of the box, but after 4 months of use, limited use, this weapon's never been skirmished, it's only ever been used indoors. I'm amazed. Other things that you'll find you'll have to do is such as the front sight. We, in their wisdom, have failed to clearly mark the front sight. If you put these sights up against a dark background, they disappear. A little drop of luminous paint goes a long way, WE. Let's look at just stripping the weapon down. It's the internals that really bother me with this weapon. One of the problems with any airsoft weapon, particularly blowbacks, is you're going to get a double feed. That is, when you try and recreate a real gun, the way it works, how can I explain? There is no way of extracting your BB. If you load a magazine into this weapon, cock it, fire off 5 shots out of a magazine loaded with 10, there is still 5 BBs in that magazine, one of which is in the chamber. You take that magazine out, that BB will stay in that chamber. With a proper firearm, when you cock it, the extractor will extract that spent casing or the final bullet. With BBs it doesn't work. With this one, we have had this happen so many times now, where that final BB, the one that is retained in the hop-up, has somehow managed to work itself down the upper receiver into the trigger mechanism, causing this to malfunction. The amount of times I've had to strip this weapon down in order to fiddle about and try and get a BB out of this part of the gun is unbelievable. It's a massive design fault. This gun is 4 months old. Out of the 4 magazines I now possess for this gun, only one will lock the action back on an empty magazine. And that is purely because of the tolerances that we have used. Each one of these magazines has a little extender, if you will, and it's supposed to catch on the bolt. 3 of these magazines it slips off the side. Again, I've no idea what this bolt is made out of, but it's cheap, it's nasty, and they've tried to substitute one little bit with hardened steel. Four months, less than 1 millimetre worn away, and it now no longer locks back these magazines. This gun cost me £315. For £315 I can buy a Ruger, providing I've got a firearms licence, which I have, I can buy a Ruger 1022 real firearm for less than this cost me. The build quality, the materials used on this gun are not equivalent. Airsoft or not, it's a joke. This is the SCAR arm. I bought this 2 weeks ago. Up until the faults with the magazines not locking back, which appeared last night, I was quite happy with WE. I thought it was reasonably good. But it's only until I've started stripping these things down and looking at the parts very closely that I've really come to realise they are not fit for purpose. This one has been fired twice. We used it again last night. We fired no more than 60 BBs through it. We do practical shooting. Suffers the same fault as well with the sights, where I've had to put some ultraviolet paint on it. You know, out the box you think, way ho, bang bang, let's go and play. In truth, it just isn't. Let's just open this one up. Bear in mind, this gun cost £265. Again, for that sort of price, you can go out with a firearms licence and buy a 1022 semi-automatic Ruger, real firearm. It'll last me forever and a day. I've got a couple. This one has fired 60 rounds, if that. And the bolt is cracked. Again, I don't know what this sort of cast aluminium material is, but it's cracked. It's broken. 60 rounds. This one's going straight back to the manufacturer, well, to the retailer tomorrow. Absolutely appalled. I only noticed this when I was cleaning it last night. WE, they are not fit for purpose.